Hawaii's, living from the effects of the greatest recession in a lifetime, facing years of denial, having to do much more with less, unprecedented high employment of over 30 years, the challenges of reduction in force or layoffs, restrictions, and unprecedented furloughs across the board in all sectors of our government. This has probably been the worst time, Chair Ige, to be the chair of the Money Committee. You know, when I first came in 4 years ago, we had a $730 million surplus. My partner at that time, yeah. He was a friend over there too. You know, when I came in 2007, this is with Chair Baker. You know, it was a different time. I tell you, we came out of record budget surplus, $730 million. You know, we could restore programs, build programs, give CIP, give GIA. The fighting went on who gets what, it's so much. Everyone loved us. People talk about giving tax breaks, tax credits. 2008 changed, the world changed, right? So that session going in, new partner, Chair Kim, we wrestled 2.1 billion shortfall biennium. We wrestled with that, drastic cuts, drastic changes. Almost half of it in the departments, in the programs, and the services, of cuts, cuts, cuts. 2009, we came back in, made adjustments. 2010, thinking everything's getting better. Recession's over, right? No. We face a $1.2 billion shortfall. Going back in, cutting some more, making adjustments, transferring funds, tapping rainy day funds, surplus, revolving special funds, you name it. Imposing surcharges, fees, some tax increases. Just to balance. And of course, that's upon the furloughs and layoffs. So here we are coming into a new administration. We still face a crisis that we need to address. This is on top of cutting the budget over the last several years of $3 billion. $3 billion. For approximate $10 billion general fund federal special budget. As I said, when we began this journey, all the low fruit has been picked and eaten. But Chair, you know, I really want to thank you for your engineering type demeanor. Engineers are real calm and cool guys, you know. Real methodical, always plodding along, measuring carefully, very precise. And I appreciate that, because that's the kind of detail we had to get into in crafting this budget. I want to thank all the committee chairs for their input. We appreciate it. The members, long hours, and all those long recesses. Thank the House and Finance, House leadership, Senate leadership for their support. Of course, the staff, all your hard work. Does not go without notice. All you guys. Well, we have a budget. And it's not the budget that we would prefer, but it's a budget that attempts to preserve the most basic of services, core government services in these trying times. It is a budget that lays a foundation, I believe, for long-term success in energy policy, a budget that supports the retraining and re-education of our friends, relatives, and families as we all come to a new normal in our lives in this global economy. And I believe this budget fix attempts to contain costs that this legislation will seek to address so that we can provide some quality of life without providing level of service. And we have tried to, where we can, restore both funding and personnel where most needed. The remaining cuts will come from budget and finance with the flexibility to determine where additional savings in government can be realized. Our goal is to give the new governor the tools he needs and his cabinet will need to retool and reprioritize government in the upcoming years to adjust to the new normal. We have made some key restorations to the budget before us, and there are some high points.
Okay. Thank you. I did want to thank Chair Oshiro for his work, and this was a new beginning, and we reconfigured the conference to really demonstrate the collaboration. I would like to thank the staff, and most importantly, I would want to thank all of the people in the departments for responding to the countless of telephone calls from both the House and Senate staff as we tried to be careful about the cuts that we made. But I did want to say, although we spent the last 4 hours reciting all of the reductions that we've taken, I do want to say that this budget before us really is about making choices. And I wanted to highlight some of the choices, although we kind of passed through it in the first 5 minutes of the conference. I did want to highlight the investments that we've made in the state of Hawaii on behalf of the people of Hawaii. You know, first and foremost, this budget does fund the Department of Education to ensure that there won't be no furloughs in the next biennium, provided the governor is smart about his negotiations. But we do believe that the budget provides the funds necessary for the department to ensure that there are no furloughs. We did make significant investments in the Department of Human Services to shore up the safety net. That included appropriating $13.2 million to provide services for those immigrants from the Compact of Free Association. We provided more than $50 million for temporary assistance for needy families. This budget appropriates $4 million for the preschool Open Doors program. We provided more than $3 million in general funds to be matched by $27 million in federal funds to upgrade the new Medicaid eligibility system to prepare for the Affordable Care Act. We've appropriated $150,000, which will leverage $1.5 million in federal funds for a new electronic health record system for the Department of Human Services. We've also made an investment of $3 million for homeless services and programs. For the Department of Health, we've approved $2 million for early intervention services. For the Department of Defense, nearly $4 million for veteran services, including maintenance of veteran cemetery. On behalf of the University of Hawaii, we fully restored the $6.9 million cliff that the ARA funds represented for the University of Hawaii at Hilo and the community colleges. For the Department of Land and Natural Resources, we provided critical positions and funding needed in the State Historic Preservation Office so we can regain national certification. We've also provided $475,000 to address tsunami-related damages. For the Department of Accounting and General Services, and assuming that Senator Fukunaga and her House counterpart concludes the negotiations on the CIO bill, yes. You know, we've created a structure for the new Chief Information Officer to provide much needed leadership to retool and refocus the technology infrastructure in the state of Hawaii. For the Department of Taxation, we provided 9 positions and nearly $1 million to assist our tax collections, one of the most important functions in state government during these times, especially in the transition with the departure of the much focused on CGI contract, and $180,000 for the multi-state tax commission, which will allow us to participate in multi-state audits to get more state revenues. For the Department of Business and Economic Development and Tourism, we provided $300,000 for the Office of International Affairs to restore the Taiwan office and approve funding to support the coming Asian Pacific Economic Cooperation Conference. We provided nearly $800,000 in additional funds for the Creative Industries Division to support the film branch and arts and culture and music branch. We've also created the Office of Aerospace to pursue further development of the aerospace ventures. So all in all, we've made important investment decisions in the state to move the state forward. So members, the chairs would like to present the proposed conference draft on the operating and CIP budget for your approval here this evening. And with that, we'll open it up to any questions, concerns. Okay, if not, Chair Oshiro, are we prepared for the vote?
I believe we are, Chair Ige. I'll call the House conferees first. Chair Oshiro votes aye. Representative Chong? Aye. Representative Choi? Aye. Representative Cullen? Aye. Representative Har? Aye. Representative Hashem? Aye. Representative Ichiyama? Aye. Representative Jordan?
Aye.
Representative Kawakami? Representative Lee?
Aye.
Representative Vice Chair Marilyn Lee?
Aye.
Representative Morikawa?
Aye.
Representative Tokioka?
Aye.
Chair Yamashita? Representative Maramoto and Ward are excused. Representative Rivera, reservations, please. Thank you.
Thank you for your work.
Yes, please do.
Honorable Chair Duguay,
Aye.
Chair Oakland,
Aye.
Chair Dela Cruz,
Aye.
Chair English,
Aye.
Chair Espero, Chair Fukunaga,
Aye.
Chair Kahele,
Aye.
Chair Kidani,
Aye.
Chair Kim,
Aye.
Chair Kuuchi,
Aye.
Chair Ryan, Chair Tokuda,
Aye.
Chair Wakata. We have a conference draft.